with first person shooter. It felt like there was already a personal vendetta towards Drake, which made it a thing to where it was like, oh, Drake got washed. Oh, Drake may not be that guy. Not looking at it from the standpoint of, man, I think what his verse contributed to that song made it the song it is. It gave it the energy.
And I also hate how people think like if Cole and Drake get on the song together, it's like they gotta be trying to like out rap each other and shit. Like,
I understand what you're saying. In that moment, he chose the song over the competition and what they gonna say. Boom, boom, boom. Drake ain't looking at it like, I'm gonna take Cole fucking head off at some point. Don't think he not looking at it like, nah, we just gonna make the bet. Nah, he come from that cloth.
Yeah.
So
true.
He at some point in time, he gonna want his lick back.
Rap and hip-hop have been dominating for the past 2 decades, and now that rap's playing field has taken a shift where creativity is there, but it's a little obsolete. Don't get me wrong though, there is a ton of creative people in the industry that are putting out bodies of work, but what we're talking about is the people that run things, and it's getting a little boring. What makes rap fun is the creativity behind it. The way a verse really signifies the intelligence and the ego that's put into it. A good verse is ideal not just for proving yourself, but showcasing your talent and letting a motherfucker know that if they want to, they could body your ass on your own song. And the value of a feature stopped becoming something of value because it doesn't seem like there's much effort being put into it. A feature is supposed to be a highlight, and now it's like everybody just gets a feature. It's more like you're trying to hit that 3-minute quota than actually trying to showcase your skills or bring more life into that song. And by all means, it's good to just make a song, vibe with it, and have fun with it. But sometimes it's really about the friendly competition. And I see that some people look at what Cole was saying as some old head rapper rhetoric. Because he did come from a time where you had to showcase your skills and actually prove yourself before you actually got that second look. I think he was just saying that when it comes to music, the best verse really wins. And Drake, knowing that Cole did wash him on his own song, he gotta come back and bite, drop his verse and come back harder than before. I see what Yachty is saying. Some people rap just to rap, not to body or prove that they're the best. But that's just Yachty's rap style. He's having fun with it. He doesn't need the lyrical validation. But for other rappers like Cole, Drake, and Nicki and Kendrick, who thrive off of being part of metaphor heaven and pride themselves off of their lyrical ability, it is a completely different ballgame for them. And that's where Joe Budden was coming from. How can you be a part of this genre and group of rap hierarchy where you have spent years trying to prove yourself to the same rappers who doubted you? Back when you were just a light-skinned Canadian dude from Degrassi to becoming the new generation's highest-trotting rapper to dropping the ball when it comes to your verses and your music.
This is my issue with Drake. Well, with this Drake. And I knew that this Drake wasn't going to be a Joe Budden Drake when Yachty said all that shit that he said. And now that we have this project, where is that verse? Where is the verse that Yachty said is arguably one of the best verses Drake has ever written? It's nowhere on this project.
No.
His top 10,
he
20, 30,
the best
40,
verse on his project.
top 50 verses are not on this project. And that's where I recognize I have to let go of Drake. I have to let go. The Drake that I loved was the best hook creator, maker, loner outer of in the world. Mm-hmm. What is the last memorable hook you've heard from Drake? And I'm not trying to shit on him, that's my man. But I want to open up the discussion. Even when he used to do features, it was his dominant hook. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard a dominant hook from Drake in a long time.
That's a good point.
So now you couple that with he don't rap the way that he stays scheming, take care, views.
5 a.m.
That if you're reading this is so far gone. Even some of the shit that was on what was that, Scorpion? More Life? What was that? One of them shits. This is like Yachty rapping. This is like he rapping for the children. And that's yo dog, I had to look up how old this nigga was when I finished listening to the album. Mm-hmm. You are 36. Your birthday is in 20 days. I Googled that too. You will be 37 years old. Get the fuck away from some of these younger niggas.
Drake is one of a kind and he will always be, but he's starting to lose the hunger. He isn't hungry anymore when it comes to dropping verses and bars. And it's one of the main things that helped him get to this GOAT position now. Do you guys remember when Kendrick dropped his Control verse on Big Sean's song? Nobody really even remembers it was Big Sean's song because his verse was too significant. It overpowered and overshadowed and brought fire to the song. The verse made it Kendrick's song. But most importantly was his delivery and how that song actually ignited a fire.
Usually homeboys with the same niggas I'm rhyming with, but this is hip hop and them niggas should know what time it is. And that goes for Jermaine Cole, Big Crit Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, J Electron, Tyler McMillan. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you niggas. They don't want to hear not one more now, no verb from you niggas. What is competition? I'm trying to raise the bar high. Who's trying to jump and get it? You're better off till the sky dive at the exit.
Y'all heard that? Kendrick brought smoke. He was letting people know that I fucks with y'all, but I can handle y'all with no problem. I'm the best. He was asking for competition and basically trying to raise the bar from what was out there at the time. Him calling people out was out of love, and that's what rap is. He's playing the game. It's friendly competition, but also a boost to your ego. Everybody can say that they're the best. They're top 5, they're number 1, they're the king and queen, but can you prove it? Kendrick was calling people out, and that's where the fun in rap really comes from. Giving the industry an extra boost to step your game up. Some rappers weren't too fond of this, and one of them was Drake.
Elevated too much? Nah, I feel like that's it. It's like, you know, he's the new guy to love, and of course, I mean, rightfully so. He's super talented, you know. But thank you. But he's but he's like, you know, he is the underdog that's extremely hungry, you know what I'm saying? And he's doing his thing really well. And that verse was, he's giving people like moments, you know, like that verse was a moment to talk about. Are you listening to it now at this point in time? Okay. And then it was real cool for like, you know, a couple weeks. But like, if I asked you, for example, like, how does that verse start?
Sometimes you gotta understand that monumental moments are also fundamental in building your career and leaving a mark. Drake is right. That verse was a moment, but it being one of the verses listed in articles as the best verses in the millennium is an impactful move because it did exactly what it needed to do. He will be remembered for his classic albums like Pimp a Butterfly and Damn, but he will also be remembered for shaking up the game when it was getting quiet.
No, and like, now mind you, it'll go on and Complex and Rap Radar, give it like verse of the millennium and all that shit or whatever. But like, I'm just saying, it's like, you know, I remember like somebody like asking me, you know, or maybe it was you that was like, is Kendrick Lamar your biggest competition like in this generation or whatever? Yeah. And I think that Kendrick has like the utmost potential, man. Like, you know, I see Kendrick tomorrow, I'm gonna dap him. I didn't feel a way about that verse. I get it. I get the moment. Like, you know, he's a good guy. And like, I know that verse had no malice behind it because I saw him 5 days later at the VMAs and it was all love. So it's like, he didn't come on there on some wild, like, yeah, I'm in New York, fuck everybody, don't look at me. Like, I'm the king. So it was one of those things, it's like, I almost wish he had come in there on that shit because I kind of lost like a little respect for the sentiment of the verse. If it's really fuck everybody, then it needs to be fuck everybody. It just can't be halfway for the sake of the people. But you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, that's just how I feel. I still like, when it comes to competition, I'm more worried about consistency. I'm more worried about bodies of work. I'm basically talking about like.
And this didn't age well for Drake, seeing the response and discussions regarding his last few bodies of work. And when we speak competition, have fun with it. If he knows that it's not malice, then why say it? His consistency has left him confused on what he actually wants to do next, and has left his fandom worried on whether or not Drake still has that fire in him. In the article for New Music News, Kendrick was quoted saying about the verse, "The irony of that line is that people who actually understood it and got it were the actual kings of New York. You know me sitting down with them this past week and them understanding it's not actually about being the king of whatever coast. It's about leaving a mark as big as Biggie and as great as Tupac." And that's what some people don't understand. You play with your words. Not everything is about beef. What makes people disappointed about Drake's album and the acknowledgement of co-watching him on his own song was that Drake doesn't have any memorable moments on his song. So co-watching him was just like a, oh, whoa. You know, it was like a whoa moment. In terms of memorabilia in music, Drake got that. He has a history of dropping heat on features, so yes, his expectation to continue and elevate is high. The Young Money crew, Drake, Nicki, and yes, Tyga, definitely are known for their own classic songs, but their features are monumental on their own since they're known for taking other people's song and making it their own. There's a good reason why Nicki's Monster verse is still one of the best verses ever dropped. There's a reason why people still talk about it to this day.
Pay 50K for a verse, no album out.
The verse alone is definitely what helped push Nicki to where she is now, because not only did she drop a verse on Kanye's song that overshadowed Kanye himself, but it was a song with Jay-Z, who is a mogul, and Rick Ross, men in the game who are ahead of her, and she's the only female. Her flow and delivery were unique and gave her a standout factor. Switching from the Barbie voice to the Roman growl gave character to the song. That's beyond what the audience has seen in a while. So yeah, it became an iconic moment. Drake and Nicki had special factors in their attributions to features. They dominated the feature hooks genre for a very long time and still even to this day. So when it came down to it, people listened just for them, because regardless if they were just having fun, they always put their best foot forward. Because it's a competition at the end of the day. If I can hop on a song and body you on your own instrumental and make people forget you were even there, make people just skip to my verse and call it a day, motherfucker, I won. And that's what Joe and Cole were talking about. Rap is friendly competition. You're calling yourself the best, then you're competing to prove you're the best in the most subtle ways, and your artistry will shine on its own. What we're starting to see is that the friendly competition is becoming watered down. Whose verse is the best when nobody feels like they have to put in effort for real? Where is the extra push that forces your ego to want to win? The rap rivalry, the razzle dazzle, the little seasoning. Like, it's needed, you know? Well, that concludes today's video. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe and show love to this channel. Thank you guys. Toodles.